This is one of the biggest that we've ever done. The most requested. So today we're making the Big Mac.
Today I'm gonna follow Joshua Weissman's instructions step by step to make Big Macs. And yes, we broke a cupboard for this intro.
In a small saucepan, add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour,
Small saucepan, 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour,
whisk in a quarter cup or 60 milliliters of whole milk,
whisk in a quarter cup of whole milk,
and 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of water.
and 2 tablespoons of water.
Whisk that till smooth, put that on the stove over medium heat, and let that cook while stirring occasionally.
Whisk until smooth and stir occasionally until it's lumpy.
Then just scoop your goop and place it to the side.
Then scoop my poop. Why does mine look a little fried?
In a container, add half a cup of whole milk,
Did he say half a cup? My bro's more salmon than I am.
and half a cup plus 2 tablespoons or 150 milliliters of water.
150 and a half cups of tablespoons of milliliters of...
Heat that so it's about 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
Gee, I only have this $1.50 Kmart meat thermometer.
Then mix in 1.5 tablespoons of granulated sugar.
1.5 tablespoons of whatever sugar.
Then whisk in 2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast.
2.5 teaspoons of instant yeast.
And let that sit until it gets nice and frothy.
And let that sit until it looks exactly the same.
Now, snag a stand mixer and add 3.5 cups of bread flour.
You can't afford a stand mixer, but you can afford a bowl. I guess that's why they call it a bowl.
And 2 teaspoons of fine sea salt.
2 teaspoons of table salt.
Turn your mixer on to medium-low
Turn your arms onto medium-low.
and add all of your yeasty milky froth.
And add all your milky frogs.
Your tangzong, which now looks like a weird gelatinous hockey puck.
Your tangzong, which looks like a something.
1 whole egg and 1 egg yolk.
Why is this just not 2 eggs?
Let that mix for about 2 to 3 minutes or until it begins to form a smooth dough.
Mix for 5 to 7 minutes or until your arms start to feel like they're dough.
Then add 3 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter.
Then add 3 tablespoons of softened butter. Butterfingers.
If it's hard, it won't incorporate into the dough. And Papa have a really big sad.
By the looks of my dough, I think Papa's gonna be a little bit sad.
Anyway, let that mix until the dough is a smooth boy.
Anyway, mix that until your arms feel like they're literally about to fall off. And so you use the Kmart blender you've even used before, and then it does this, and then their arms fall off.
Plop that dough out of the stand mixer, roll it into a light ball, and place it in a greased bowl.
Ugh, I should have just done this from the beginning. Anyway, ball in the bowl.
Cover with plastic wrap. Be sure to give him a soul and a name that truly exudes respect and regality.
Cover and glad wrap. Give him a name that reminds you of that story about the shower.
Let it rise at room temp for 1 hour or until
Let it rise at room temp or until your fingers are fatty sausage fingers.
love your little dough man, respect him, and then release him from this world from whence he came.
Love your little dough man, respect him, and then sussa, but only because we love you.
Place your dough onto an unfloured counter, divide it into 8 to 9 equal pieces.
Put your dough onto an unfloured counter, and then it sticks to the counter because it's unfloured. Then flour it.
Roll each piece of dough into a nice doit ball, and place those all evenly spaced apart on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper.
Roll each piece into a nice doit bolo, and then put it into your parchment paper thing.
Cover those with another inverted rim baking sheet and let that proof at room temp for 30 minutes.
Cover that with another baking tray and let it rise for 30 minutes.
Then just brush each of your buns with egg wash.
Then let your son brush the buns because suddenly he wants to help. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Papa. Give it back.
Then just give all of those a beautiful sprinkle.
Then just give each of those a nice sprinkle.
Bake those at 375 Fahrenheit with convection ideally.
Bake at 375 while your wife is telling off your boy, ideally.
Do you do that at school? Do you tell your teachers what to do? Yeah, well then. Don't do that here either.
Well, he got roasted and so did these buns. Look at this. Amazing. Time for the sauce.
Start off with half a cup of mayonnaise.
Start with half a cup of mayonnaise.
3 tablespoons of ketchup.
Then 3 oh my gosh, too much. Oh, wow. Then spoon out as much ketchup as you can.
3 tablespoons of yellow mustard.
3 tablespoons of yellow mustard.
1 finely diced bread and butter pickle.
Some finely diced gherkins.
1/8 of a teaspoon of onion powder.
1/8 of a teaspoon of onion powder.
3 tablespoons of brune noir, which is just an ultra fine dice of sweet onion.
You know how to get the finest diced onion? Grate it. I'm just grating an onion.
1 clove of grated garlic.
Fresh garlic. Always fresh garlic.
Season that bad boy to taste with salt and pepper.
Season your bad boy with salt and pepper.
Give it some whiskey business.
Give it some whiskey business.
I mean, look at this stuff. I'd like to jump off and take a little bath in this.
I mean, look at this stuff. I'd like to just give that a little taste and make sure. Holy moly, that is way too tangy. Next, call on your wife who actually knows how to cook and get a second opinion, and then add more of every ingredient except for the pickle. She reckons I went too heavy on the pickle. Literally, that's what she's.
Snag some iceberg lettuce. Shave that nice and thin so you get little iceberg ribbons.
Next, get your iceberg lettuce and cut it way too thick so you have literal icebergs.
Place it into a bowl,
I like only have one bowl.
along with optionally a small handful of fresh Italian parsley that's been finely chopped,
Along with a small optional handful of supermarket parsley that's been finely chopped.
in the zest from 1 lemon.
And a zesty lemon.
Look, I like to add the herb and zest just to give it a little bit of freshness. The ocean breeze in Papa's mouth.
Look, I do this so I can have the mangere fun balls.
If you want onion, please slice that beauty super duper razor thin.
Look, if you want onion, please dice it super thin. I'm Salmon, this is thin.
Okay, it's assembly time. Toast your buns in butter in a pan.
Toast my buns and my pants. I'm sorry. And these ones.
For the burger patty, I'd recommend fattier ground beef. Separate that into 8 evenly sized balls. And please, make sure your balls are nice and round.
Divide into 8 even balls, and then please make sure your balls are nice and.
Get a pan that's been lightly greased. Place a ball into the center. You should immediately hear sizzle. Get a real big spatula.
Get a real big saucepan.
Press it down using the back of the spoon
Press it down using your brute strength.
so it's nice and flat, a little over 1/4 inch thick.
Nailed it.
Season that generously with salt and pepper and let that sear for 1 to 2 minutes or until a rich, crisp brown.
Season it with salt and pepper and let it fry until it's a rich, crisp brown.
Flip, and oh my lord, that burger sear has me on a one-way train to I'm about to bust.
Flip, and that burger has a one-way ticket to, oh my gosh, somebody turn off the smoke alarms.
Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Da 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 da.
Da, 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 da. Okay, but seriously, these burgers were epic. They destroyed the Big Mac in every single way. Check out that cross section. It's reminiscent of a Big Mac, but it's like the fancy pants version. And 10 times better. We made smaller versions for the kids and they loved it. You guys should definitely try this.